Venus in the 8th house. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Venus in the 8th house, everything you need to know about this placement and how people are when they have this placement, all right? Now, before I begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified every time I post new videos, all right? Venus in the 8th house, let's discuss, all right? Now, when you have Venus in the 8th house, you value matters that are associated with 8th house matters. 8th house matters have to do with sex and intimacy, shared resources such as debt and leveraging debt, inheritances and transformation. All right, so these are 8th house matters. The house that our Venus is placed in tells you where your values lie and where there's extra emphasis as far as value. So there's extra emphasis with you as far as 8th house matters, and you value these matters significantly. You value the whole concept of sex and intimacy and closeness with others. You value shared resources, having resources that are involved with others. You value the whole concept of receiving an inheritance, and you may receive an inheritance at some point. And you value the whole concept of transformation and all matters involving transformation, because these are 8th house matters. Obviously, everybody has some form of value as far as these matters, but when you have Venus in the 8th house, there's significant value as it relates to these matters. When you have Venus in the 8th house, this is similar to having Venus in Scorpio, because Scorpio rules the 8th house. Okay, so you're pretty much like a Venus in Scorpio native. You probably get along with people who have their Venus in Scorpio, and you get along with other Venus and water signs, okay, because you're pretty much just like a Venus in Scorpio native, even if your Venus is in a different sign. See my full video explaining Venus and Scorpio. The link for that is in the description box. All right, so I have a whole video explaining and breaking down Venus and Scorpio. I'm going to drop a link for that in the description box, so make sure you check that out, where I expand further on Venus and Scorpio. Okay, so but when you have Venus in the 8th, you're just like a Venus and Scorpio native. Your relationship experiences, let's discuss. You're likely to marry and or get in a relationship for the other person's resources. Your relationship experiences transform you in a significant way. All right, so when you have Venus in the 8th house, this is what this indicates as far as your relationship experiences. You're likely to marry and or get in a relationship for the other person's resources, and your relationship experiences transform you in a significant way. You leave your relationships a completely different person, and even if you stay in them, you become a different person and transform along the way. This is great for someone involved in these careers and fields. Ones that are associated with banking and dealing with other people's values and resources, transformational healing fields, therapy related fields. All right, now Venus in the 8th house, people can be great in many different things, but this is what this placement supports. This placement supports matters that have to do careers and fields that have to do with banking, anything involving dealing with other people's resources, transformational fields, healing fields, and therapy related fields. All right, so these are the fields that this placement supports. Thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. That's Venus in the 8th house. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Take care.